यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ति स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शनदृश्यभू कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञात्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति शिखरा यस्मात् आनन्दसाम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। वेदोदधिं समुन्मथ्य ज्ञानरत्नं समुद्रितं येन तस्मै वसिष्ठाय गुरुणां गुरवे नमः। वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। सद्गुरु परमात्मा की जय। सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। शब्द ब्रह्म की जय। सरस्वती महारानी की जय। योग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय। हरि ओम। We are discussing Yoga Vasishtha Nirvana Prakaran, the last half, and of that the first half we are discussing, and the chapter is 79th. In that when Vasishtha was telling the story of Jivat to Ramji to explain the secret of nature and creation, etc., in the end of it, Ramji had different questions, and one of that was, according to Vasishtha ji, these higher gods, supreme gods, not singular number, plural, Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the protector, the Lord Shiva, destroyer, all these personalities who are direct manifestation of the unmanifested truth, they are of God category. They have all the capacities, all the abilities. They can do and undo anything and everything. That's how the Brahma, creator, he creates the world, and it is protected, supported by Lord Vishnu, and in the end it is destroyed by Lord Shiva. These three deities, they are just representative of one absolute truth. They are just the first reflection of the transparent mirror, not opaque, transparent glass in itself. The first reflections will be like this. Three types: sattva, rajas, tamas. They are the first reflections, and the reflections are seen in many ways, in many different forms. So those reflections are seen, or they are imagined by the Brahma, that is called creation. Creation means nothing else other than the reflections of the Absolute. Of course, in between Brahma comes as the creator. That means he thinks over all those different, manifold, innumerable reflections. So because he thinks over all these, so he becomes the mediator, creator. That's how these creations are, we see. And as such, these three great gods who are free of all bondage, they are you see, above all the rules and regulations. Rules and regulations are created by them. And the one who creates the rules, he also alter it. In our government, we have the laws, क्या कहते हैं उसका, संविधान, constitution, and we do all the amendments very often. We change it. So the constitution of laws and bylaws are made by the people, of the people, for the people, from the people. In all ways, it belongs to everyone. But someone will be the final controller of it. We call it Niyati, the all controller, the overall controller. Or in these three aspects, we see the overall controller. So the Brahma, creator and protector, who looks after all these laws and orders, it should be carried out. Dharma sansthapanaya sambhavami juge juge. For the protection of dharma, the law and order, I take forms when the need arises. So this is how Vishnu is the protector, and in the end, it should end at the last. So Lord Shiva is the caretaker of destruction. He likes to play. So all these three aspects, these aspects belong to every object, subject, every name and form. Whatever appears, it has to disappear. This is how the law of the nature. So the nature, according to the will of all these gods, act, and they are the commanders. as they like, they can command. So they are beyond all the rules and regulations. So Ramji had the question, the doubt, if they are of that type, means highest controller, then why do they prefer to suffer sometimes, to enjoy sometimes? Why so? Why not enjoying all the time, continuously? You see, Lord, of course, Brahma never incarnates, but Lord Vishnu takes different forms. See the form of Rama, incarnation of Vishnu. He undertook so many, he accepted so many, you see, mishaps. He went to jungle and lived there for 14 years to keep up the words of his father. In that way, to set some examples before the society, they have to play different roles. And in those roles, they suffer also, they enjoy also. Lord Shiva abides in burial ground. He doesn't want any enjoyments. Non-enjoyment is enjoyment for him. सारे अमंगल का रूप लेते हुए शिव means the auspicious one. he cares for no enjoyment. So Ramji had the doubt, when they are the overall controllers, why do they prefer to suffer sometimes and enjoy sometimes? Why it is so? So Vasishtha explained to Rama in his answer. महाराज वशिष्ठ जी ने कहा, भद्र, महेश्वर, सिद्ध तथा जीवन मुक्त शरीरियों के लिए इस संसार में क्रिया विषयक कोई नियम नहीं बना हुआ है. For all these people means gods, Rudra the destroyer, Lord Shiva, and of that category, Brahma and Vishnu, and all these great Siddhas. Siddhas means who have the all powers, who have all the powers. They are independent by themselves. They are not dependent on natural rules and regulations and all these process. They are not dependent on anyone. When you attain independency, you are free. So these type of beings, they are called Siddhas. And Jivan Muktas, they are also liberated ones. That means they are not under the law of nature. They have gone beyond the nature's law and order. So they are complete free. They can do anything or undo anything. They are the lord of their wishes. They want to do something, they can do, or they can keep silence for eternity, as they like. Nobody has challenge. Nobody can challenge, because they are beyond all these rules and regulations. In that way, sometimes they play the drama, to amuse, and to have some fun. Just as the old people also play with small children, they become horses and the children ride upon them. So it is free will of the old people. They enjoy it. It is not suffering, it is enjoyment. Sometimes the old people will cry, they will play like a child with the children. So it is their enjoyment. There is no hard and rule, a fast rule for a capable person. Samartho ko nahi dosh gosai. Yesterday we saw the sun is free to distribute its rays anywhere, whether in the garbage or in gold. That is not considered in the case of sun. Similarly, the Ganga, it is always pure. Anything, dust, any rubbish, nonsense put in Ganga, it becomes purified by Ganga water. And similarly, the fire can burn anything and everything. It doesn't consider whether it is good thing, fruits and ghee, or it is rubbish, some excreta or some other garbage. It burns everything into ashes because it is capable. Nobody can find fault with fire. It is ever pure. In this way, these gods, because they are beyond all the rules, so they can enjoy themselves as they like. There are no rules made for them. कोई क्रियाओं का कोई नियम नहीं बना हुआ है, यानी शास्त्रीय मंगलात्मक तथा सुख भोग फल वाली क्रियाएं ही करनी चाहिए, अन्य नहीं, ऐसा कोई नियम उनके लिए नहीं बना हुआ है, क्योंकि वे लोग विधि वाक्यों के दास नहीं हैं, यानी विधि निषेध वाक्यों से वे परे हैं. There are no rules made for them. They are beyond all these rules, and it is said in the Vedas, ko vidhi ko nishedha. Where are the do's and don'ts for such people? They are beyond all these. वो क्रिया विषयक नियम तो अज्ञानजनों के लिए है, कल्पित हुआ है. And those rules and regulations are made for only ignorant persons. They are not made for wise people. All these rules and regulations are only for the citizens of the country, not for the president. He can overrule all these rules. He is free to do anything and everything. In communist countries, see, the chief will do anything and everything without asking anyone. In this way, these higher gods, they do everything, and rules and regulations are made by the authorities for only the ignorant persons who doesn't know what all these, how to behave, so that the law and order, the harmony will be there in the society. So they are forced to obey the law and order. तात्पर्य यह है कि अज्ञानियों को दृष्टि में प्रसिद्ध मंगल स्वरूप जो क्रियाएं हैं वे ही तत्वज्ञानियों के दृष्टि में अत्यंत अमंगल स्वरूप हैं, क्योंकि अशुभ कर्मों के अभाव से दुख की सामग्री के रहते भी दुखदायक भोगों की उत्पत्ति नहीं होती और उनकी दृष्टि में सभी पदार्थ सुख रूपी मालूम पड़ते हैं. What happens really? There is no object which is painful or pleasurous. No object has its some influence like that, nor any action is avoidable or worth doing. Action has also no good and bad sides. Neither the actions nor the object. On this only the whole creation stands. You do something, either good or bad, and you get something, either good or bad. These good and bad qualities, the pairs of opposites, are not of the object nor of the process of doing. Then how it appears to be good and bad? It is our angle of vision. As you think, so it appears to you. See the heater. Heater is so pleasant in winter days and so painful in summer midday. Fan also the same thing. Sometimes it is very pleasant, sometimes it is painful. Everything in this nature, all the objects, how do you behave with it? How do you take it? From which angle you see it? We often discuss a person is seen from different angles by different people, and the relationship differs. One person is father of somebody, brother of somebody else, son of somebody else, and husband of somebody else. In this way, different relations are created by different persons by their vision. From different angles they see, the same thing appears to be different. In this way, the objects or the kriyas, the actions, are neither good nor bad. How do you take it? The same gold is useless for the children. They don't know the value of it. Whereas the glittering pieces of glasses are very attractive for the children. Imitative ornaments are so good for poor people, whereas gold is good for the rich people. same thing becomes good for someone and bad for some others. So really speaking, if you see everything analytically, no objects have any bad and good qualities, nor any actions are taken as good or bad. So, these people, these great people, great gods, because they are capable, they can do and undo anything and everything. So, because they have always the equal vision, they see everything equally. So no objects nor any actions seem to be painful or pleasant for them. So Lord Shiva, all the assets, say the garland is snake and he wears some skins, some tiger skin or elephant skin, or sometimes he goes nude. It doesn't make any difference for them, such people. That means they are always the seer of good things only. Everything is auspicious for them. They don't think any difference in all these actions or in all these objects. So there is no enjoyment for or painful something for them. They enjoy all the time in all conditions. So it is their amusement. Vilasa means amusement, entertainment. Sometimes they keep quiet, sometimes they act as they like. Such persons, such beings are seen by the other great people as mad chaps. Mad chaps. Pisachavat. Pisach. They spirits. They do anything and everything. The wise people, they behave like mad people because their behavior is seen by ignorant persons as irrelevant to the worldly persons. They don't act as the ignorant persons act. So for the ignorant persons, they are mad chaps. That is what in Gita is explained. Jani sa sarvabhutanam tasyam jagarti sanjami. What is night or darkness for or unenjoyable, painful for the worldly people, that is day for them. These great seers or equal vision beings, they don't see any fault in anything. So that is day for them, that is light for them. Whereas the worldly people don't see that from that angle, so it is night for them. Unseen is called, unknown is called darkness. So knowledge is light and ignorance is darkness. So ignorant people are always in darkness. They don't see the light. Unmadavat, balakvat. Sometimes they act like overwhelmed with overdrunk people, or like children, without any purpose, without any attachment. Beat a child now, after 1 hour he will be your friend. It forgets. Forgetting simple straightforwardness, simplicity, no crookedness is found in children. So these great people, they behave like children, without any purpose, without any attachment with anyone, or without any, say, hatred towards anyone. So these people are beyond all these. This is the answer to Lord Rama's question, why they prefer to suffer sometimes and accept some unauspicious objects. Whatever is good for ignorant persons, that is not good for the realized souls. These great people, they don't enjoy in all these. उनकी दृष्टि में सभी पदार्थ सुख रूप ही मालूम पड़ते हैं, because they have always the equal vision, so they see good in everything. Everything good means it is not good. It is beyond goodness and badness. Everything is always good. You are always happy in all conditions means that is not a happiness, because happiness will have unhappiness, the opposite. So it is not called happiness, it is called bliss, something beyond it. The continuous happiness is called bliss. In this way, continuous good is no good. It is beyond goodness. राग द्वेष लोभ आदि हजारों दोषों से चित्त के खंडित हो जाने के कारण अज्ञानी पुरुष क्रिया के नियमन के बिना मात्स्य न्याय से जन्म परंपरा जनित नरक आदि नानाविध दुख प्राप्त करता है। यह शास्त्रों में प्रसिद्ध है। From the scriptures we get always these datas. You see, ignorant persons, they are slave of desires and hatred and likings, love and hatred, all the opposites. Mercy or hardness or all the opposites. These ignorant persons, they are in the dualistic world. So they have to, generally they see good and bad, all the opposites, all the time. So naturally they think some actions are auspicious, some are not. Sometimes they think some objects are good, some others are not. In this way, they are subject to good and bad and pairs of opposites. So they will have happiness and pain, pleasure and pain. So naturally, they think in that way, and they have the hell and heaven, enjoyments and sufferings, they will do. they will go through it because their mind is like that. So don't forget the basic principle. As you think, so you are. Your thoughts are your personality. One idea can change your life, change the whole world. World is neither good nor bad. It is your vision. Never the sun can be covered by small patches of clouds. It is your eyes which is covered up to see the sun. The clouds never hide the sun, but we see the opposite and we think oppositely. Just the reverse we see and we think. The clouds have covered the sun, now sun is not visible. It happens because we see something else and not the sun. So in between comes the clouds. So we say sun is covered by the clouds, but really it covers your sight, your vision. In this way, for the ignorant persons, there are good and bads, and higher and lower regions, different locus, different state of existence. Some are subtler spheres and some are grosser. This earth is gross plane, and some other subtler planes are there where the soul after death of this physical body goes and enjoys or suffers. In this way, these are the visions of the ignorant persons, not of the realized souls, not the siddhas, not these great gods. और आत्मज्ञानी पुरुष तो जितेंद्रिय, ज्ञानी तथा वासना रहित होने के कारण इष्टानिष्ट वस्तुओं में कभी नहीं डूबता, यानी न तो वह कभी अभिलषित वस्तुओं में निमग्न होता है और न अनभिलषित वस्तुओं से उद्विग्न होता है। These great people, realized souls, they have full control over their senses with mind, intellect and prana, etc. So, they have the equal vision and they have no desires. The desires are our enemies. When they arise because of a feeling of incompleteness within us, we feel something we lack, and to fulfill those lackings, we have desires. And desires make us restless and hide our reality, our own self. We are ever engaged in fulfilling the desires. And that never happens because when one desire is fulfilled, several others are seen around it. So what happens? The ignorant persons are the slave of desires. They are ever engaged in it to fulfill it, and they don't see the inner self. That's how they are ignorant. And for them, there are something desirable objects. When they get it for a moment, they think to be happy. And when it is gone, because everything is changeable in this world, nothing is permanent here. So when either your mind contact of the senses with the objects or the objects itself, everything is subject to change. Everything is changing every moment. So how can they get permanent happiness from all these? Naturally, they will be prey to good and bads. So, because the realized souls have full control over their body, senses, mind, etc., so they have the equal vision. They are desireless, and that's why they don't have anything desirable or undesirable. On this basis, they have no love for anyone, nor hatred for anyone, any object, or for any actions. They can do anything. There is no good actions nor bad actions. There is no dharma or pap for them, sin and meritorious work. Nothing is like that. Whereas on the opposite side, see these ignorant persons, they have hatred and love, they have good and bad, friends and enemies, everything. Opposites. They have some desirable objects. When they get it, they get happiness. And when they lose it, they become restless. See the money? When you earn it, how much hardship you undergo. And when you keep it, you are always afraid somebody may take it out. And when you spend it, so hardly earn, all your effort you have offered to money, and that is when it is gone, you are so unhappy. Oh, my pocket is empty. What shall I do? In all the time, at all the time, money gives you only pains, not pleasure. But in this world, money, 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 sweeter than brighter than sunshine, sweeter than honey. Everybody is after it. It comes and goes. Nobody can hold it for a long time. But yet we are behind it. In this way, the ignorant persons, they suffer, and for little time they enjoy also. But for the realized souls, there is no enjoyment, there is no suffering. Neither they enjoy when they get desired objects, because there is nothing called desires. So whatever comes by the way, it is not desired, so they are not happy, nor they are unhappy. They just accept it. In this way, they live at present, do everything, whatever comes by the way. And this is what taught by Lord Krishna to Arjuna in the battlefield. O Arjuna, go beyond all these good and bads. Dvandatit, nidvando bhava. One who is beyond all these pairs of opposites, he is never bound to his actions and results of the actions. So be indifferent and go on doing whatever comes by the way. The battle is before you. Your nature will make you fight. You cannot stop it. Prakritim janti bhutani nigraha kim karishati. What can you do? No restaurant can have any effect because nature will force you. And everything is done by the nature. Don't be involved in it. You are not the doer. So such people, they live at present and they don't care for anything. Whatever comes by the way, any objects, they receive it and they don't reject it. Any action is needed, demand of the time and situations, they act accordingly, without any attachment, without any desire for the result of it, because result will come in future or after the action is done. So they are not at all concerned with the actions, they are not the doers. So they are free from all these rules and regulations. They are master of their own person. They are beyond all these rules and regulations. Such people live at present, they have no past, no future. They never think of the past. Gatasya sochana nasti. Whatever is gone, it is dead and gone. Why to? Do you go to the burial ground to bring out the buried body? Does anybody do like this? It is gone. Don't worry for the past and don't plan for the future because future is uncertain. Nobody has a hand control over the future. Future is unknown. It is designed by the nature according to your past actions. Nobody knows the secret of it. It is an automatic process. Nature is responsible for it. Nobody knows the secrets of action and reaction. How can you know? So don't plan for the future. Such people, these great monks, they eat once in a day by begging. They don't keep for the evening even. They don't think of the evening. Now your life is at present. Now is the time to think of God. Our only duty is to think of Him because He has given something to us through the nature. We have to thank the nature. Of course, we cannot forget the nature. So some people, they are the devotees of Mother Goddess, that is nature. Nature.
गुरु महाराज को कोई 1 करोड़ रुपया दिया तो डिस्पर्स करके शाम को कैश बैलेंस दिए.
Yes. आज खाए कल को रखे, गोरखनाथ पास न रखे. Eating today and preserving for tomorrow. The great people don't admire such people. Get out from my company. You are unfit to be with me. You are thinking of tomorrow. The good people, the wise people, they never think of the past nor of the future. They live at present. Present is our life. That is certain. Future is uncertain. Past is dead and gone. So in this way, these great gods, they enjoy everything. it is good and bad for you only, not for them. वे ज्ञानी लोग सदा काकतालीय न्याय से अकस्मात प्रादुर्भूत हुई क्रिया करते और नहीं भी करते, क्योंकि इन लोगों को किसी में भी आग्रह नहीं होता. They have no interest in anything. Whatever comes by the way, they either do to fulfill the need of the situation, or they don't do. They cannot be blamed by anyone, nor nature can blame them. Nature is their maid servant. It dances according to their wish. Miracles happens. वे ज्ञानी लोग सदा काकतालीय न्याय से, काकतालीय न्याय, the crow comes and sits on the tree, the fruit was ripened, it had to fall down, and the crow comes and sits, the fruit falls down. So we say the crow has made it fall. But really it is not so. Coincident. That is called Kakataliya Nyaya. In that way, these great people behave. Whatever comes by the way, they accept it. Or if they reject it, of course they don't. But if they reject it, they are not blamed by that. They are the master of their free will. As they like, they can do. काकतालीय न्याय से ही भगवान विष्णु ने पूर्व में मनुष्य आदि जन्मोचित कर्म का संपादन किया. ऐसे ही भगवान शंकर और ब्रह्मा से भी किया. By chance, without any reason, without any motive behind it, Brahma appeared on the lotus and Vishnu made it manifest. And Brahma also went on imagining, and those imaginations took some forms and some names. That is called world. Some imaginations. And that's how they do everything without any purpose and without any expectations. इन लोगों को किसी में भी आग्रह नहीं होता. काकतालीय न्याय से भगवान विष्णु ने पूर्व में मनुष्यादि जन्मोचित कर्म का संपादन किया. Lord Vishnu took incarnations by his free will. What for? Nobody can challenge. This is how, according to our astrology and history, Lord Rama never incarnates in every Treta Yuga. No, sometimes. And Lord Krishna also never incarnates, incarnation of Vishnu, never incarnates all the Dwapar Yuga. Never. Sometimes, if the need arises, they may or they may not. No question. No question. Why the president went to South to attend some little function conducted by some local people? Why? No question. No question. He is president. He can go everywhere and anywhere. Once it happened really, you see, there was some Ramlila drama near Laksheshwar. Practically, I have seen it. And they invited me also. And they invited the district magistrate also. He is authority of overall authority of the district. As officials, he is a great one. He has no time. But they invited the president at that time, President DM. The DM was so childlike, he was so simple. He could do anything and everything. And he came to see that, visit that, without anybody with him, just like an ordinary person, without the securities, nothing. And he was sitting before me. He came before me, and he was sitting on the audience where people will gather. Nobody was there with him. When I read there, I was wonderstruck. DM Sahib, you are here. How do you came here? He said, some people invited me. I thought, let me see. It was my leisure time. So I came by walk. All the time, all the way by walk. He had no vehicle, nothing, no security, nobody was with him. Just like ordinary person, he was sitting there. Nobody was receiving him also, because everybody was engaged to arrange the drama. Nobody saw him. He was sitting all alone and enjoying. So when I went, I asked, how are you here? And this is what happened. I wanted to enjoy. And I came all by myself, by walk. Let me see what is going on. It is his free will. Because he is capable, no question can arise. This is how the great people behave. Our Modi, out of his program, he will come down from the car and he will go to the children to meet and amuse and make some funny talks. हे श्री राम जी, कोई कर्म न निंद्य है, न अनिंद्य है और न उपादेय है। किसी कार्य, किसी कर्म में हयता नहीं है। ऐसा कोई भी कर्म न आत्मीय है और न परकीय है, जो सिद्ध पुरुषों का विषय ही, यानी जो सिद्ध महात्माओं के फंसाए, फंसाए मतलब जाल में फंसा दे। These great people, they are not entrapped by any actions, nor by any presentations, nor by any objects. Nothing can do anything to them. Because there is nothing for them praiseworthy or not. They take everything equally because they have the equal vision. They see only the Lord in everything. तो भला बतलाइए तो सही, भगवान शंकर के लिए प्रसिद्ध उनके चरित्र के अनुकूल वेश तथा क्रिया का नियम कैसा बना है, अथवा विष्णु भगवान के लिए ही उनके चरित्र के अनुकूल वेश और क्रिया का नियम कैसा बना है, या आप जैसे महानुभावों के लिए उत्तम व्रतचर्या का नियम कैसे बना है। नाउ having all these facts and figures before you, when you see this from all round vision, now tell me, where are the rules and regulations for such people? Who made Lord Shiva to abide in burial ground? Who asked, what rule forced Lord Brahma, Vishnu to sleep in the water only? Eternally. Who made them so? Which rule was acting on them? Nothing, no rules, no regulations. क्योंकि काकतालीय न्याय से उनका निर्माण बिल्कुल असंभव है। ऐसे ही आशंका करते हुए भद्र जैसे सृष्टि के आदि में अग्नि आदि के उष्णता आदि प्रसिद्धि की प्राप्त हो चुके हैं, वैसे ही भगवान शंकर आदि के कर्म तथा द्विजातियों के भी तत् जाति के योग्य कर्मों के विधान दृढ़ता को प्राप्त हो चुके हैं। तात्पर्य यह है कि मुख्य ईश्वर की इच्छा स्वरूप अनादि नियति ही कर्मों की व्यवस्थापिका है। So finally he gives the decision, decree of the two parties. He gives the decision, our Vasirji. He says, O Ram, all these are not created, all these rules and regulations, or their wills, Lord Shiva to abide in the burial ground or to have unauspicious decorations. All these are not made by nature or by some rules or regulations. The eternal niyati, the controller, that means we shall go to out of the subject now little. You see this creation or this manifestation of the unmanifested truth happens all of a sudden, just as in the blue clear sky we see some gaseous, some patches that we call some clouds. Those clouds are nothing but mass of vapors. They get accumulated, they take a form. Unseen vapors means humidity or the water dusts in the sky. It is always there. When they get accumulated, they take a form. And they get, slowly they get blackness, the color. We look at as black cloud. It intensified or more centralized, grossified those vapor mass. That we call cloud. It was not there and it appeared. The subtle takes a gross form. In this way, it was not there and it will not be there. It is momentary by itself. It happens. Of course, it is by the nature. Nature. We are in a relative world. We always have to see everything through the nature. But in the absolute, it is absolutely pure and transparent and complete and spotless, Niranjana. There is no expectation of anything there. It is beyond everything. So somehow, if just as the blueness of the sky, beauty of the evening sky, or the mirage, water in the mirage, we see something which is not there, or the snake on the rope, it is not there, but somehow it appears by our misunderstanding or wrong vision. Something happens. That is called Maya. So that because of that, we think this world is created by the absolute truth, because that is eternal and that is non-perishable and ever constant. So, if at all there are worlds, creations, it appears for some time and it disappears also. In this way, if at all we see something that is just like the water in the mirage, which is not there, or the horns of a rabbit, or the child of a barren woman, we imagine something. That is imaginary creation. That is, we have to accept something has happened because we see this. So only thing we can imagine, that spot, black spot, that tent is due to the absolute truth only, because it appears in it. Nothing can appear without it. So we say it is the will of the absolute. We have to say like this, which is wrong. From the root itself it is wrong. But yet that is the only way to imagine. There is no other way out. So we think something has happened. So modern scientists, they imagine in different ways. Our old scientists, the great saints and sages, great research students who can say something, they say that there was the will of the Lord, absolute, unmanifested truth. Eko ham bahusyama. I am one, let me be many. Just as this small patch of cloud, in no time it becomes full of sky. It spreads out. Where from it comes? The local clouds in the evening time, see? Now the sky is so clear, evening you shall see today there is rain at the evening. They will come, they will be created by the melting of the snow. And it may rain also. And it may snow also in the higher regions of Himalayas. Anything can happen. So this is how we think there is some will of the absolute which is not there. It is our imagination, it is not, it doesn't belong to the absolute. So we see that one becomes many, that is called the first ego, which takes different forms, and then that appeared to be three aspects, three qualities, and therefrom starts the willpower and creative power and the knowledge power. One has to plan according to our views. One has to plan, then only he can do something. So there should be some process of manifestation. One becomes many in what order, in what process? We imagine these great seers, they saw, they experienced, people imagine like this, ignorant persons, they imagine in this way. One becomes many, and first of all, one becomes three, and these imaginations, they say, it is just the reflections of itself in the transparent sustainer. Say in the transparent prism, all the reflections are seen within. Its own reflection also is seen within it. Similarly, all these reflections of the absolute takes these forms. First one, then it becomes three, then it becomes five. They are the five measures, units. They are called tanmatras, and then they magnify, and all these five gross elements, basic elements, are imagined, only imagined. And when imagination repeats itself again and again, it takes a form. That is called manifestation. Manifestation has got no ground. It stands in the sky. Where is your universe? Is it not in the space? And so-called time. And all these happens by the eternal willpower that is called Niyati, all controller Niyati. We name it as Niyati. Niyati means one who processes or takes everything in a path. Niyat karta hai. Niyat karta means one who decides things. That is willpower. The eternal willpower. That is how we can imagine only. There is no other way to imagine. Our mind is trained in this way, but not all the minds. Some regulated, purified minds, they are the research students, the great saints and sages. They said there was a blast in the beginning, and that was the ego. Just as the egg hatches, so also that willpower manifests, and then comes out the child, the eternal child. Ekoham, that ego, the primordial ego, one ego. And then let me be many, because it is willpower. It cannot keep quiet. So many imagination starts. This is how the reality of creations. according to the great seers. The sound blasts. When the egg hatches, then there will be a little sound. That is little we see, we hear. But the universal egg, Brahmand, Brahmand we say, the egg of the universal being, that there will be a great blast and the sound comes out. From that sound is nothing but vibration, some vibrations, some waves, imbalanced state of balanced state, according to our language. Balance becomes imbalanced. Really it doesn't become. We imagine like that. There is no waves in the water. We see the waves. Waves are not different from the water. By no way it can be different from the water. But waves we see, we name it, we see some forms, imaginary forms. Can you give any form to any wave? But we think so. Water takes a form. In this way, all these sound waves, they dash against each other and go on dashing in this way. Then all these elements are made out of it. If two waves clash against each other, then some bubbles will come out. These bubbles are the world. Different names and forms. They will have no two bubbles will be similar. Different in size, different in existence. Some will burst, then are there. Some will remain for a long time. Long time means for some moments. This is how eternal time comes. And the eternal willpower works. Imaginations only. These are the thoughts of, expressions of the great seers, which is heard by the Vedas. Vedas are the first expression of the Creator. Om and Atha. These two words came out of the mouth of the Creator and then starts, Atha means then. So then started all this multiplicatory process. And that the process is expressed as Vedas, knowledge power. Knowledge power. That is called knowledge. Veda means knowledge. It is not by any ordinary beings. It is expression of the great ones, the great seers. Expression. In this way, this world is seen before us. We are the imaginary dream objects of the great Creator and imaginary beings. You have no identity whatsoever. Whatever your name or form belongs to you, it is imaginary. Don't rely upon it. Your identity also is your imagination and governed by the universal imagination process. You have no freedom. Your imagination is governed by, ruled by the original imaginary being, and he is also governed by the eternal willpower, which is not else somewhere seen by anyone. That we call Gandabhairav. Gandabhairav, a bird living in the sky eternally, and it makes nests in the sky, and it lays eggs in the sky. The children, the eggs hatch in the sky, and the children, little ones, come out of the eggs and they fly in the sky, they are there. And they live eternally in the sky, and they find out their prey, their food in the sky only. They eat the sky, they eat the time and space. That bird is called Gandabhairav. And I have such Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om, Jai Ram. Hare, असद असद बस। हाँ हाँ 5 मिनट, थोड़ा क्लास चल रहा है वो सब बस। आइए So in this way, Gandabhairav, Kuchandram, we have some Kuchandram. It has got no form, no name, and it is never seen by anyone. Neither it is a fruit, nor it is edible, nor it is dejectable, nor it is acceptable. It is neither a fruit nor some watery substance, nor it can be eaten, nor it can be drunk. It is some object, some imaginary object, and imaginary name is Kuchandram. Eternal Kuchandram. Imaginations have no boundaries.
ये जो गंडभैरव को समझे रामकृष्ण कथामृत में हेमा पक्षी करके बोला है, हेमा पक्षी।
Call it as you like. Any name can be given to it. So now we have understood something which is imaginary only. This is how the great people act. They think like this. They behave with this world like this only. So what rules and what regulations? Where are the rules and regulations for them? You are free to think anything and everything. Nobody can have any rules over it. Has anybody obstructed you to think in a particular way? Ever you have made such rules? So there, your imagination is beyond rules and regulations, beyond everything. There is no time, there is no space, no conditions can condition the imagination. जो सिद्ध पुरुषों का विषय हो, यानी जो सिद्ध महात्मा के लिए कोई फंसा सकता है, such great thinkers, how can they be entrapped by what? They are ever free. They are not bound to anything. तो भला बतलाए तो सही, भगवान शंकर के लिए प्रसिद्ध उनके चरित्र के अनुकूल वेश तथा क्रिया का नियमन कैसे हुआ है? कौन नियमन किया? कौन उसको बोला कि ऐसा पहनो, ऐसा खाओ? He drank the poison. Who told him to drink the poison? So no rules. अथवा विष्णु भगवान के लिए ही उनके चरित्र का अनुकूल वेश और क्रिया का नियमन कैसे बना है, या आप जैसे महानुभावों के लिए उत्तम व्रतचर्या का नियम कैसे बना है? Who has made some rules for you great people to act particularly in that way? No, nobody. क्योंकि काकतालीय न्याय से उनका निर्माण बिल्कुल असंभव है, ऐसे आशंका करते हुए वशिष्ठ भगवान बोले, भद्र जैसे सृष्टि के आदि में अग्नि आदि का उष्णता आदि प्रसिद्ध को प्राप्त हो चुके हैं, वैसे ही भगवान शंकर आदि के कर्म तथा द्विजातियों के भी तत्त जाति के योग्य कर्मों के विधान दृढ़ता को प्राप्त हो चुके हैं। तात्पर्य यह है कि मुख्य ईश्वर की इच्छा स्वरूप अनादि नियति ही कर्मों की व्यवस्थापिका है। So he concludes, who has made this fire to be hot? Who has made this river to flow downward? Who has made this mountains to be fixed in one place? These are originally thought like this by the original thinker. So as he has thought over, it will go on. As long as he doesn't withdraws his thoughts, so long it will go on. That means the creation is his imagination. When he withdraws his thoughts and sits in samadhi, the creation will be dissolved. All these mountains and fires or rivers or these beings, they will disappear as it were. Of course, in the order it has been seen, in the same order back to the source they will go. That is called process of dissolution. In this way, the eternal willpower works. As it thinks, so all these manifest, and their qualities, their nature becomes as per the will of that eternal willpower. That is called niyati. Niyati means all over controllers. One who guides, processes everything. Nobody can go against it. How can a puppet dance without the willpower of the child? So this is the condition of our creation. Yes, thank you. So we shall see tomorrow further. सर्गे, क्या सुंदर श्लोक है ये। सर्गे प्ररूढ़ि मायाते संकेत वसतः पृथक अनुभूति फलाश्चर्या कल्पिता स्वयं। Everything is imagined by imagination. We shall see it tomorrow. The imagination is imagined by imagination only. Everything is, holder is imagination, the content object is imagination, and the seer and the doer all are imaginations only. Imagination imagines the imaginations. This is how these worlds are. Tomorrow we shall see further. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevamasisyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. सच्चिदानंद भगवान की जय। सबदा ब्रह्म की जय। जोग वशिष्ठ जी भगवान की जय।